What's up, traders? Sorry about not getting a video out this weekend, guys. I've been fighting a little bit of the flu bug, so fever's broke and I'm feeling better, so I'm going to go ahead and throw my crypto weekly outlook and my Forex weekly outlook out together in one video. So it might be a little bit of a long video, but I'm going to discuss the relevant pairs in both markets as I see going into the week ahead. This week is going to be a low liquidity week, so any bit of volatility can push these markets up or down with extreme prejudice. So with that being said, let's dive in. What's up, everybody? My name is Heath and this is Trade Talk. So with the low liquid environment we have coming into this week, being Christmas is Friday, and then you have New Year's the week after. A lot of firms are closed and they're not trading these 2 weeks, so it's best to not trade if you can help from doing it. However, I'm going to mark out some levels that we can watch for this week in both the Forex and a few pairs of the crypto markets together in one video, as I was not able to put out either video this weekend, and I do apologize for that. So let's get started. On EURUSD, we had this sell-off last night due to some COVID news over in Europe, a different strain, and a little other news items that, in my opinion, aren't really that relevant. This isn't a huge pullback. As you can see, if I stretch the market, stretch the chart out since we broke out of this area here, it's just a small pullback. And as of right now, it is being bought back up. Now, so what I'm looking for at this level here at 1.22174, this white line, I simply took that off of an hourly chart. I'll go grab it real quick for you. It's just this market structure here, 1.22174. The next 8-hour area that I'll be watching is going to be this area here at 1.22486, this area here. If we get an 8-hour break and hold above this level, I'm going to be looking for this area to come into play. However, if we stay closing an 8-hour candle below 1.22174, I will look for this area to be tested at 1.21914 and ultimately lower down to 1.21548. Pound dollar. Pound dollar has taken quite of a bigger sell-off than the euro did. It's okay, but as of right now, it closed right here on this market structure here at 1.33138, and it is working away from that level. The next level down that I would look to come into play would be 1.31810. However, this is going to be an area to watch for the next day or so. Okay, if you start to close 8-hour candles back above 1.33138, then you can look for this area here, which is 1.34029. I got that off of an hourly chart as well, right here. This level will come into play as well, but anywhere in this area would be a good spot to look for possible resistance hold to pull back to this area. Like I said, it's best to not trade these types of environments because technical analysis is not as reliable. S&P 500, same thing. I got this trend line here coming from down here, and I just tapped it off of this low here. You can see that we did wick down way below it, took out these lows here, but closed way back up here above this market structure here. We are currently pushing back down into it and testing it. And that level is 3646.40. This level here, this trend line as well, might offer up some kind of support. Now, any news, high impact or low impact news item is going to cause these markets to swing around wildly because there's not much liquidity, so these moves will be exaggerated. So just keep that in mind. It's going to be a pretty crazy week coming into Christmas if we keep getting news items like we did over the weekend. Gold, I'm not going to go over DXY, guys, because DXY is just the inverse of EURUSD. So whatever EURUSD does, it's going to do the opposite pretty much. It's not 100% correlated, but it's close. It's like 56% weighted to the euro. That's why it's so heavily correlated to the inverse. Gold is pushed up. We took out all these targets and these targets and this target We took out all three of those targets that we were looking at last week, and then that news came out. But we did push all the way down to this market structure level here at 1855.53, and we have since closed back above this area. Now this candle right here that we're currently on is wherever it closes will determine where I will be looking for future targets. If we close below 1881.47, I will be looking at 1855.53. And if we close above that level, 188.47, I will be looking for this high here to come into play. This high being 1906.80. Aussie yen. Aussie's awful weak this morning. Came down below here, but we did close below this market structure. Now we are currently pushing up. We did not test this market structure here at 78.164, but it looks like it's starting to reject. So if this candle closes below 77.939, which is this area here, I will look for 77.589 to come into play. If we close an 8-hour candle above 77.939, I'm going to be looking for 78.164 and then higher. Possibly a test of this steep trend line I have here. It's very steep, so it's almost, well, it's not quite parabolic, but it's a pretty steep trend line. I do not expect those to hold. They do fail often, so just keep that in mind. Silver it has broke out above this weekly, I guess if you want to call that like some kind of flag. It was just off of this top and this top here. And then on an 8-hour, you can see we broke above that. We were looking for that area to be tested last week. We got a clean break above. On this news, we came back down and tested it and closed back above this market structure here, which is 25.94. And if we keep an 8-hour closing basis above 25.94, you can look for 27.097. However, if you get an 8-hour closure below 25.94, look for 25.42, which I got on an hourly chart right here off this candle. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. This candle. I'm still a little bit discombobulated, guys. Forgive me. I should be right as rain in a few days. New Zealand yen. New Zealand yen is pushing down. We had a strong bearish close. Okay, we had a strong bearish close below 72.858. We have pushed back up. We haven't quite pushed all the way back up to 73.169. If you do get that area tested and a rejection, you can look for 72.858 come back into play. And then this area here that I got from this candle, which is 72.554. Once again, that's this candle over here. Because the reason I'm using that is because when we broke out, when we made this market structure, we came back up in and tested it. We didn't even test it. We just broke out above it and then never even came back to test it. So this is a valid area to look for price to retest. If you do get a closure below that area, which is 72.554, this area here, you can look for this area to come into play. That's 72 spot. Let me just get a line on there so I can be as accurate as possible. 72.210. USDCAD. USDCAD broke above this descending trend line support. We cleared up all of these market structure areas. We did push all the way up into this one here. But sorry, that's not right. There you go. And we push back down. We are currently coming down to test. Now, if you don't have any areas to look for and you don't necessarily want to go into an hourly chart to get them, just use the close and open of the last candles, 8-hour candles. Because if you go into an hourly chart, you're going to see that it does offer up some kind of something there. You see what I'm saying? So you could just do that on an 8-hour charting basis. So that way it just keeps your levels good and collective. If you get a test here and it pushes back up to 1.28822, you can look for an attempt again at closing an 8-hour candle above 1.29264. You get that, you're going to retest this high right here. at once. Let me get rid of this, because now that this market structure high has been put in, this over here you don't no longer have to worry about. Okay, now if we get an area, if we get a closure above this area at 1.29570, then you go back over here and get your next market structure area. You want to keep your market structures close to the nearest term price as possible, because I don't believe a lot of people, I mean, I just won't even say that because I don't even want to argue with anybody, so I'll just keep that to myself. All right, let's move on to the crypto pairs that I'm going to look at with the king of every asset out there known to man is Bitcoin. Best asset alive, outperforming asset in the last 10 years is this thing right here. We have pushed down, took out all these lows here with this wick, okay, but we did not close down here, which is very important. This thing has still got 35 minutes left on its closure, because it closes its daily candles at 7 p.m. I believe. So it's a couple hours after the FX markets. So 35 minutes or 34 minutes will tell you when this thing closes. If you close below 21,138 spot 89, you can look for it to test 22,570 spot 49 again. If you get an 8-hour closure below that, we're going to be testing 21,359 spot 65, unless it catches some support where it wicked down to, which is probably, if we go to an hourly chart, we can find exactly what that wicked into. And it wicked into this right here, this market structure right here. See? Oh, shit. Right here. All right, Litecoin. Go back to 8-hour. It did the same thing. It caught this market structure here. It's pushed back up since. If it doesn't close back above 109 spot 42, look for 101 spot 17 to be tested again. And if you get an 8-hour closure below there, look at 92.94. If you do get an 8-hour closure above 109.42, you can look for this area to be tested at 116 spot 31. ETH is pushed down below and is currently closing. I should have done this 2 hour or 35 minutes from now, so that way it would be more set in stone as to what to look for. But you basically get the drift. I basically got 3 levels on these crypto charts, because these 3 levels are going to hold price for a minute, I'm assuming, because once you get big move like this, consolidation is in order. So just your levels to watch is going to be near term, which is right here. It's going to be 621 spot 24. A closure below that, you can look for 589 spot 08 to come into play eventually. A closure above 621 spot 24, you can look for the low of this to come into play at 638 spot 04, or up here at 646 spot 77. If you catch resistance right here at 638 spot 29, you can look for 621 spot 24 to come back into play. In that case, you would want to see it hold as support to test 646 spot 77. If you do not get that hold of support, you're heading lower. Link has pushed down, taken out these lows, and we're currently testing back up with the market structure at this level here, which is 2 spot 48288. Okay, if you get a closure above that, the possible next area to test is going to be 1 spot or 13 spot 07. This area here. Failure there is going to bring the area or bring price back down to 2 spot or 12 spot 48. That's Clyde in the background meowing. He wants something to eat. Ripple's not looking that bad, actually. We tested this area here, which was just the next 8-hour candle. I mean, we have been slowly trending downward in a downward motion. But if you're holding 8-hour closures above 0 spot 5039, the next area to look for to test would be 0 spot 5625, this level here. Okay, you get a closure above that, you're going to be testing 0 spot 0.6080 again, and then ultimately this high here at 0.6611. You close below 0.5039, look for a test of 0.4563. Tezos is currently testing 2.1405. If you close above this area, look for 2.2123 to come back into play. And then this area here, because we blasted through this area, so if this is going to remain, pushing down, this area should hold as support, as resistance. If not then there. If you get an 8-hour closure above this level, you can look for 2.2614 to come into play. Anything closing above that, your next market structure to break and close above is 2.29885. 2.2985. Ultimately targeting this market structure up here at 2.4020. You close below 2.1405, look for 2.0705. You lose this level, you're going lower. You can look for this area to come into play at 2.0121. ETHBTC, this was asked of me to look at the other day, but I wasn't able to get those videos out. I slept all day Saturday, literally, so, and I'm still not feeling the greatest, as you can probably tell by the way I'm talking. On ETHBTC, you have closed and made a new market structure here at 0.027821. Come down to test this area here. You did not quite get a full touch of that, but that is close enough in a market structure to be considered as a test. If this was a gap, I would consider that gap filled. That is a close enough test to qualify it as a test. So you can look for the next area to be tested would be 0.027634 and then 0.027821. You get an 8-hour closure, a test and failure at 0.027616. Look for this area to come back into play. You close below this area at 0.026330. Look for this area here at 0.025404. And then finally Stellar. This trend line I didn't expect to hold anything. You know what I mean? It was just, I figured it was going to break yesterday, and it did. So basically what I'm looking for, it is kind of trading in this area here. So I'll leave that area there. I'm not too caring about this area. So let's move this down. We'll be trading in this range here. The range is going to be from 0.161490, this line here, to this line here. Let's get rid of this trend line because it's done its job. This area is 0.176633. If you cannot get an 8-hour closure above that and a fail below, look for markets to come back to 0.161490. Ultimately, a closure below that, you're looking at 0.150971. So I hope that helps, guys, to get you some levels to look at. This is not financial advice, obviously. And once more, I do apologize for not getting those videos out. I just did not have the strength. Although once I'm back on my feet, I am back on my feet. I'm a little better, so I should be able to get some videos coming out. So with that, I'll say good evening, good night, or good morning, wherever you are in the world. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.